Okay, so here are the copyright laws. That is what I tell you concerning my copyright and my publishing right for all my works on the net. Everywhere where you can find it, there's lots there. There's music, filming, whatever. Straight out, you are free to use them in any way that you want, especially if they're Christian messages. You're free. I provide help for the public, for artists in this case, that you know maybe they may be able to earn a living in this crisis here. In Australia, we're having it hard. They've put everything sky high up in prices that you got to do something. I've been trying to do something. At least for Australia, this may even be worldwide sooner or later. It may come worldwide sooner or later. It's prophecy has been prophesied about that. So it may actually happen worldwide sooner or later. It may. Okay. So this will help. This will give some sort of job for artists. So you can do any of my work there because I'm provide assistance for you. Okay. Any way that you want, I ask that you don't add or take away anything to my writings, like my songs, for example. But you can use anything you want. You can use your own music if you like. I don't mind that. Um, Glory must go to the Christian God, like worship and that. If you believe in other false gods, it's between you and God. He will judge you, but you don't go telling everybody that my messages or anything like that is from other gods or whatever, or whatever. For example, in this art situation, you won't be able to do that anyway because the message is clear. Okay, so the basic principle is to look after your families in all races, all colours, not prejudice. Okay, the Christian charity thing, free of charge. I will not charge you anything. On my part of the work that I do for myself, I have it free there too for the service, for this purpose. But there's other sites that I may charge, and if I make something from that, that's for me. But for you, for example, you can sing my songs again if you like, and be the singer. You can use my voice if you like, and the music that I put there. The only thing here that I'm asking you, don't add or take away from my, lyrics in all my work, my books, whatever. Okay. I'm not sure if there's anything else that I can remember. If there is, I'll mention it maybe in another video. That's it. Okay. So apart from the copyright laws that I present in this video and the one previously in what was it called again? Balance nature industry, blah blah blah. You know the video before this or after, whatever, relating to what I'm telling you here, what I'm going to tell you, and that is you're free to do whatever you want there. No one's stopping you. Okay, the problem is that if anyone, whether you're in authority, and I'm talking about the biggest king in the world or the richest, I tell you, I'll start you right up if you use this principle. You don't know how to do that. The law won't stop you, either can I. But if you use this principle and say anything, something like the copyright or the publishing rights belong to whoever, I will start you up. What you must say and confess if anyone asks you, although if they don't, you don't have to say anything. Nor are you allowed to create any type of system. I don't give a shit. Anything that legally or illegally, I don't want that. You create any system, whether it's 666 or whatever, okay, it will come hard if you claim, if you do that, that's between you and God. But if you put me in this and you claim that my method is given to you by someone else other than me, that is given by Jesus Christ, thank you. And I don't care if you believe that or not, you must say that. And I tell you, don't create 666 or that because God's going to come hard. I can't do nothing about it. If you do that, trying to involve me in it, telling you that my ways, like you bullshit artists, false Christ that prophesies about me. Okay, Jesus says there are many false prophets, but false Christ. It doesn't say femis scriptures and spells out my name as saying that I am a false Christ. He says you false Christ out there. So because you have prophesied falsely about me in a really bad way, I'm pissed off. So if you ever claim anything like, my work here, in this case, or any of my works, but The other works can be proven easy that it's not. But here, you prove that this method comes from anywhere. I don't care if it's a right method or a wrong method. I don't give a shit. If you claim anything that comes from any way other than Jesus Christ being the founder, okay, because he gave it to me, or God, the Holy Spirit, same thing, okay, because he's the one who gives me this through being inspired by him, according to Christian faith, to help you. I will stuff you up completely, and I will. If you look about exactly what I've done in history, you'll be shitting already. Just look at ask the authorities, ask everyone around you that knows me and what has happened. So, but I don't want to stuff up anyone. I'm concerned about your beliefs, but that's not my business. That's God's. But you can use this method anyway you like to help your families, to help everyone. And this is what's going to solve all the world crisis. According to what Jesus gave me to help you, me, and everyone. And I'll explain to you how it works in a moment. But don't ever create any system. I'm talking to the law itself here in its face. Don't ever create any system. I don't care if it's money, credit cards, whatever, especially PIN numbers and your hands and foreheads, like you're saying. You ever do that, trying to involve me in it? You try to involve me in it, I will take you straight to the highest court. And I can do that easy. And you will lose. And I will prove you will lose. And then you'll be taken to God's court anyway, because you're not allowed to do that by God. Whether you do this what I'm telling you or whatever. Okay, so very important. So to continue now, in this cross in Australia, and it's going to spread worldwide according to prophecy. Eventually, I'm not sure when, but it's going to. There's a crisis here like you wouldn't believe. For example, centuries ago, even as far as a few years ago, this was the lucky country. The poor could survive here. Not saying one too poor, like in the street or something, but you can survive here. Maybe not the street people, but I'm talking about the common person that, that didn't have much, can survive like that, have pocket money in his pocket, and just about survive beautiful. He wouldn't be the king of the castle, but is going to be a survivor here. Okay. Now this, what I'm about to tell you, is about to spread worldwide, so I'm here to provide help for each and every person. Okay. Now so here, how can I explain it here? Just a number of few years. How many is not relevant. Everything's just sky high rocket. The common person cannot afford not even cigarettes. No bill. It's too difficult to pay. We managed to do so, but a lot of difficult. But the ones that are just a little bit poorer than us, probably in the street now. There's too many in the street now. Okay, and it's going to get really worse. Okay, so it may. I hope it doesn't, but it may. As it gets worse, if it does, it means people like us are in the street next, and then the ones that are richer after us a little bit more, they're going to go next. So on, and only the rich are going to have whatever, and eventually if it gets that worse, he may not, but has gone this far, and it's going to go worldwide. For example, I'll tell you how difficult it is. For example, I'll give you a sample. For example, to an area where I live, it's worth a fair bit, not rich, but it's not poor. For example, in a farm, okay, for example, like back then when it was a free country, for example, you'll take one person to pay all the bills. One, as in labour work, thank you. If you had a better job, you have more money left over. For example, I'm talking about normal factory work, which is probably a very low pay here in Australia to today, compared to other industries. I'm not sure if it's the lowest, but factory work, which is probably equivalent back then, about 15 years ago. Not sure about today, but about 15 years ago is equivalent about to the same price as even a pensioner. Okay, here in Australia, I'm not sure what they got overseas. So with just one payment in a simple, job that doesn't pay as much as most of other jobs, you'll be able to pay every bill, food, whatever, have left over in your pocket for the whole family. Well, just about the whole family, as much as even as 5 kids and one wife. And usually the man would do that. Since women's lib came out, I've got nothing against that, or that women should work, that's fine. But since women began to work and other reasons and whatever, The government thinks it's smart now and stuffed everything up. Now you need at least, in a property like mine, at least 5 wages of, I'm talking about 5 wages. You haven't got 5 wages, you're going to be in the streets sooner or later. Okay? You need at least 5 wages of what I said before. That is a big difference in how they stuffed up the whole system because of women's leave. Not because they're wrong, they're right. Women can work if they want it, but because the law's got, he does hard with it and they fucked everything up. Purposely. To put you in slavery. 5 times the amount. We're in slavery now and people haven't realised. Anyway, and if we don't work, we get kicked out in the street, telling us to, so what? We don't give a shit anyway. So this is going to spread worldwide. It can get worse. Maybe I hope it doesn't, but it can get worse. Okay, just about so many things here are expensive that the common person cannot afford. Some of us can still afford. For example, people can still afford it because they had a lot of savings, for example, in the bank account from the mum, dad, or even themselves that work hard when it was a lucky country. Things like that, or they're not that poor, for example. They might be a little bit better off. But the majority of the people that are in that category must are already in the street. Okay, in this country, and that's happened since dawn, or since systems come out, but not as bad as what has happened here. People like that are a little bit better than poor. You see, the people that are a little bit better, or maybe a lot more better, yet non-middle class, always did it well, except the very raw people, very poor people. Now it's just about everybody in that category, up to about the middle-aged people, as in middle wealth. They have become the category of being the poorest now, as in what wealth is concerned, and not what's in the street. But anyway, yeah. So it can get very, very heavy, and so on. So you get the point now. So according to the video that I showed you before, you say this is clearly famous that this provides no work for anyone. You've got to be very smart to see how he actually does. Very powerful. If you said that, sure, incorrect. So that's what the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. How you create more work is very simple and much easier to get the job for everyone. You might have guessed now, because there is no work here in Australia, and it's going to spread. Only some people get work as computers, whatever happening. Whatever, it's no work, so this has to be done in order to rescue you. You would say with no labourers? Yeah. You know why? Because you know how many people there are farmers here in Australia? And I'm sure there's many like that in the world. Yeah. I might not be able to help every person in the world, for example, to live in the city, but I'm doing my best to help you. I'll try to find a way. But people in that country, man, I just help them, because all they've got to do is be their own boss. You don't need labourers. If you want labourers, you can. It's a good thing. You can help people, but you can do that. It's very highly recommended because you get more work done. But in this thing that I'm telling you, you don't need any labourers, and big companies may actually go for that. And other people say you don't need it. You're your own boss. You're your own boss. You know how many farms out here? I don't know how many, but there's heaps. You can't count them unless you actually got the mathematics behind it in, registered somewhere, and they probably have the laws. The department will know if they look it up, but we can't. We've got to go to every house. It's going to take ages. You're going to get lost. Okay, they've done it though, whichever way, but they probably have through whatever they do when you register your name or whatever. They probably don't know if they do, but they probably do very easy. It can be found by them. But with us, try to count in every house. You don't know how many, but there's a lot, maybe in the millions, pharmacy. Maybe less, maybe more, but say maybe at least 1 million. I don't know if I'm right, but say there's 1 million. You've got 1 million farmers that know exactly what to do. And I'll show you even better here how to actually pay all the bills here and not just get food here, see. And that means you kick out all the companies when you win the vote here, because you're the public here, and you're going to win the vote. They can't do nothing, okay? As long as the public votes that in, I'll show you how to get everyone to vote for that, even the ones in the city, 100% vote, and they can't do a thing. See, they can't do a thing. I'll show you that, and how hard I'm going to hit this rich bastards who have fucked us around, because they fucked us around. So I'm going to give them a war of love, because they can be in this and survive too, but if they don't, they're going to die. Anyway, so listen to what I'm telling you here so you can understand. So when every farmer does this in a balanced way, okay, like I said, one, you got your own food, you don't have to buy food. Hunger problem solved. If anything else isn't yet, that's a lot of money here in Australia for food. So automatically you paid one bill, only one bill. Okay, you've got a balanced diet too here. No problem. You don't have to eat everything. You're a vegetarian, but you've got a balanced diet and you've got choices. Two. Okay. Two, you kicked out all the big companies because the ones that want to stuff everyone around. Okay, because they're not going to sell anything. You got your own food, and they can't stop you. Okay. If they do, don't worry, the vote will win. Really easy. If they don't, we have a rebellion here. But anyway, I'm not saying I will, I don't know. I'm telling you I won't, I don't know. I don't know the future here. I'm not a prophet, according to what you say. I say I am a prophet, but anyway, in this subject, I'm not telling you. But there will be a rebellion really big. And it's not only the government that's going to go down for this, but it's worldwide, but it's going to be those, the government, I don't give a shit about that, he's just a guinea pig. It's going to be those big ones which I have got awareness of people, for example. I have an army the size that you wouldn't believe. But what I'm saying by that, I'm not actually saying to you, I have that army. No, I know of others that have that army. And they're really like that. But anyway, so, yeah, it's going to be very heavy, and believe me, we'll win overnight. But anyway, so, see, so what I'm telling you here, straight in your faces, is that, the food crisis will automatically disappear worldwide. Not sure if they can get in poverty countries, but if there's ways, I'll show you how to do that. There's ways of doing that, solve automatically. Okay, so if we find ways, I think I have, but I have to look into it more. But anyway, so you got the world that can produce crop here in places, at least in country areas, to at least pay the food. You want to now get it into places like suburban areas where they've got some sort of property in the backyard. They can get somewhat out of that, maybe not the full lot, but something out of that. And even in, I'll show you, even if it goes down to that, you can even have it in small flats, very hard to do, expensive actually, so that may not be the rule, and because you've got to use lights, whatever. But anyway, actually it might be expensive once I show you how to eliminate the problem of the electricity and get the electricity companies kicked out, which the law doesn't like that at all. But you vote that in and they'll do it, and you have a zero bill. Okay, but anyway, okay, so that's it. The next upcoming video, I will show you how to pay at least one bill here automatically that provides electricity, that runs your water system, and yet I will show you another bill, and hopefully I will show you how to pay all bills soon. Okay, soon. Okay, so you got all these bills paid automatically. You kick this company out, you vote this in, you tell them, you vote everybody in, you say you either do what the public says, or there's going to be a rebellion any moment. You tell them straight in the face, and we outnumber you so many. And you don't know who we are. See, that's the truth. Because some of you are in your own business that is in the legal and illegal department, as the law is concerned. Because a lot of them are the public as well, who are our soldiers. And you freak them out so bad by telling the truth. You don't know what's going to happen here. Your bombs are nothing compared to our knife attack. That's all. We only got a knife. You got a big bomb. What are you going to do? Kill yourselves? Okay, and us? Okay, do that. No problem. Anyway, simple. I told you that the soldiers that I have are actually in everyone's businesses, everywhere. Even the law department on both sides. A lot of them are on my side here. They won't tell you that. Nor can you ever prove that unless I show you evidence. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to adopt in my people. Go to hell. I will not do that. Listen carefully. All I have to do, and I don't have to do the order. There's a way that the order has already been given. For example, you wipe me off the map. Order immediately at its right time now. Okay. So anyway, So what it basically means is, it means that the member of your own household will be your worst bloody nightmare. Scripture actually says that I will do that. Only though, if you stuff us around, and you already begin to do that, and you're pissing me off. And I'm talking about the first one that I'll cut his bloody throat is the government and everyone under him. So if you want to warn, you want to start this one, and if you want to die within like 2 seconds, okay, after the exact attack, for example, if it's done at exactly the same time, all I have to do is slash your throat while you're sleeping. Now stay up, be alert, take your drugs that you poison people with, you bastards, and just stay awake until you die now, or just fall asleep. And when we make the attack, if we do, over in 2 seconds. The member of your household will be your worst nightmare. If they're not in your household, they're next door. They're in your business, whether it's legal or illegal, and most are on my side. And you're outnumbered. Your bombs can't do a thing because who are you going to kill? Do you know who they are? You don't. Only we do. We do, but you know nothing. Nothing at all. Your information in the internet or whatever you've done is bullshit compared to this system because you don't know who they are. They can tell you this, that could be something else. For example, informers or whatever you may call them. You have no clue. We do that. And not everybody on that side, they don't know. Only the ones that are legalized to know. So there's a lot of people on our side that have no clue either. But it's very easy to get the message to them. We know who they are. We tested them many times. But anyway, so this is what I'm trying to say to you. So get this farm going if you want. You don't have to. You can start if you want. Okay. So now we've got food. I'll show you how to get electricity. And don't try to stop me because you don't know who I am. You just don't know that. You got food because I told you I'm king of kings of the Lord, whether you like it or not. I don't care. So to the public, in order for your protection and your security, it's just you've got food, and I'll show you sooner or later on the internet concerning your electricity bills, water, you name it. I haven't solved everything yet, but I might have, but I have to look at my records. But sooner or later, everything will be where you go independent. You're the boss in your own property. All you have to do is work for your family here because you may not sell anything because in a small business because there's no work out there. No one's going to give you a job. They're not going to do that. You put in the supermarket. Everyone else has got it. Although you can for others that haven't got this. You say, all you have to do is run a small farm. All you have to do is run a small farm. You can run a big one if you want to, but all you've got to do is run a small farm enough to feed your family, pay your bills, and there's no much work behind that, see? You're sitting around, enjoying the fruit of your labor. And you want to make you rich, but it's going to solve the problem, okay, of you going to extinct or going to die, okay, from hunger or whatever, according to what these bastards have done, okay? Anyway, so this solves the problem for all farmers if you do what I'm telling you. You can do it the other ways as well, but the weather, whatever, can destroy it, whatever, and you're in trouble again, and it's not going to give you a balanced diet if you're doing one crop. You've got to sell this, and you may not. Even in a place where you can sell, if anything goes down and it doesn't sell, it doesn't sell. Okay. So anyway, so having that said, stay tuned for more videos relating to how you can actually have free electricity legally. They can't do a thing. You can have free water, for example. Can't do a thing. I think you might have guessed about free water. Some of you might have whatever. What else? Cooking as in gas, but you need to go electricity for that. That's a bit of attachments. Okay. Free. Okay. Showers free. Whatever. I'm not sure if there's any other bills and everything. Okay. The internet. The telephone call. I haven't solved that one yet that I know of. But you don't need that to survive anyway. Throw in the bin or have it if you've got money in the bank to use it. If you haven't, well, that's not going to make you survive if you haven't. It's not going to make you survive if you have. It's not about survival, it's about internet. A telephone, you don't actually need that. If you've got a bit of money, you can invest in that, no problem. What else? If there's any, the rates Okay, I'll solve that in a moment, but and it'll freak you right out. You pay 000 price, no matter what the government says. I'm King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. Not you, thank you. God put me in charge, not you, and I care less about your own opinion. Look it up in the Bible, look it up in all dictionaries, look it up everywhere. It's listed there that Jesus gave me the kingdom. My name is registered there. You do your homework properly, you're going to see the famous scriptures. Jesus Christ said he's King of Kings, the Lord of Lords. He done that. I've looked it up, and I know, and I've done that even before. So you listen to me, and I don't care if I win or lose here. You don't know me. Okay, I don't care, but you do, because you will go to hellfire. Maybe not now. You might not care now, but when you do that, you'll be shitting your pants. Just like I make most of your shit. I make my war with love, though, so you can be part of this and stop stuffing us around, you assholes. Direct message to all leaders who are doing it, not all leaders, no, because some are, like I said, at least 50% of them on my side, they are Christians. This is a Christian ministry. And will serve God any time. Not the ones that say they are the phonies, but it is 50% of them on my side. Not all of them know about this, so don't go being scared here over this if you haven't heard by others, but we know who you are. You're registered in God's books, you're registered in ours. We know exactly who you are. The word will get to you as soon as it has to be known. I'm sure you will serve Jesus Christ and not those assholes. Okay? And they're in the own legal department. Maybe not in the mobsters, but in the legal department. They are in the mobsters, but not as mobsters, as informers. They don't do crimes, but it appears that they do. Because they've got to be there to get information or whatever. There's a lot of them. Yeah, mobsters start shaking and start shooting yourself because any moment will slash your throat unless you obey God. But anyway, that's another problem. Yeah, let's warn you. Come on, all of you against me. I'm here at the opening. One against all your armed forces. Now, come on, you want to fight? You don't know how much of a Greek I am. You thought the Spartans were tough. You thought that Alexander the Great was. Come on. A lot of y'all won't even put any one of my soldiers to fight here. I've done my war for now. Come on, take me down and watch what happens. Kill me and watch what happens. Come on, me against all you assholes out there. Every one of you. Come on. You got the guts? I'll push it. You're a man? You think you're a big man? Come on. Let's go and watch what happens. Just watch what happens. Now that we've got everything clear who's King of Kings and Lord of Lords, obey. Because I come hard on those that don't. Not me, you obey God. I love the Holy Bible, thank you. I don't care what your ideas or what your beliefs are. I don't care, they're not mine. You just obey what I said. You obey the Christian God. So it's continuing now. Those in the legal department of the law, that ain't all those that say they are, they're not legal, but anyway. They say, Themis, you cannot do this. This is illegal. In a nice or mean way. Doesn't matter. What are you talking about? You're wrong in your whole system. It's just a slight example. Because this doesn't stand in my vocabulary, even yours, or anyone's. Because if you look at this video carefully, I am doing it, thank you. Not that I can't, because I am. As a sample in the video, there will soon begin. See, I am doing this even now. Hasn't stopped. So your vocabulary, your language, your system, and what you said is a lie. No such thing as I can't do that, because I am doing it. Okay. So everyone on the planet, great and small, is free to join us. Okay. And you can use this system if you like. I'm showing you. You don't have to if you don't want it. It's a free will. It's up to you. I don't want to see you go hungry. I don't want to see you die for crying out. I'm trying to help each and every one of you. I have the love of God and will do that for every person. But you rebel against me or any of my people, at its appointed time, it will be as I said. It will be. And I won't go back. I do not change my mind if I make that decision. If I do, it'll be over. I very much like God, thank you, and God never changes his mind. When he makes that decision, he will not, and either do I. And I'll be happy about it either way, so I'd rather you join us, keep the peace, the safety, look it up before you comment, do your homework really good, because I don't make you do your homework really good here, because you'll be pissing me off since the time at all. Okay, so listen to what I'm telling you, look it up, and if you do your homework right, you will see that Jesus Christ actually has the kingdom down to who? To me. Okay, my name is registered there in the old books, all the way to every ability that's out there in many ways. Many ways, I want to mention one, not just in the Bible, but confirms in the Bible if you do your homework properly. The actual Bible, you won't see that if you don't do your homework, but do your homework properly, you'll see it. The Christian faith, the faithful ones will confirm that as well. All they've got to do is pray to God, man. Every Christian out there, just pray to God. Yeah, and he'll tell you that the mysterious creatures is King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Ask him. If I'm wrong, no problem. Under the Christian faith, I don't even have to give you one. You know already. Anyway, so okay, you know, I'm talking about the faithful Christians, not just Christians, and it's got to release that to them as well. So just pray about it before you judge me. Okay, don't be persecute me. I'm not saying you will, but I'm talking about I've done nothing wrong. God gave me the kingdom. Since the time of dawn, thank you. It's been recognized now though. Not them, they're stolen. They're the crooks. They're the false ones. If they're in that position, it's because I let them be there for whatever reason I want to do. Freak him out a bit. But anyway, so continuing now, yeah, your electricity can easily be zero price. For example, solar energy. I'm not talking about the way they do it. I'm not talking about getting a company here and building your solar energy where you got to earn some sort of thing, some sort of price. In actual fact, in Australia, if you do that, you can actually sell it, okay? And still don't own nothing, but it still costs you a lot of money to actually get the service and the works to actually build it. I'm not talking about to get people to build it, I'm talking about yourself from scratch, from the first nut, from the first screw, whatever it is, the first wire, whatever, to build it, the cell, what they call, to build it actually yourself. I'm not sure how much it will cost, but years ago when I did research, this one it cost like $450 at that time. Not sure about today, but equivalent to something like $2,500 when you get service from a company to do that. That's a big savings. Okay, although it's not exactly there's much electricity there, but it's enough to run the house. For a whole house, you might need as much as like the same price approximately to do this, because you get it kind of like a Jeep. But the benefits of that is you own them nothing, because you don't know what they're going to do in the future. They do that to every bill in history if you look carefully. Cheapest, no problem. 1 month, a year passes, put a high price, now it's to juice company out. But anyway, and you're stuck with a contract, they're bastards. Look at history and look at your records, you see it's something similar. I'm not sure about what in Australia it's happened. Okay? For example, an electricity company, anyway, they would say this is cheapest company. Oh yeah, I'll do sign the paperwork, and they're getting you to sign paperwork all the time, the bastards. Okay, you sign the paperwork, it's cheap as, yeah. As soon as the contract goes up, it's a rocket high. Now you've got to go and fill out paperwork to find another cheap company. All catch-22. All who's the cheapest, and they get the cheapest company now is becoming a lot dearer, but it's the cheapest one in the market at that time. So they're stuffing you around. Anyway, so I'll show you how to do that. I won't actually show you how to do that. I'll just give you the information for where to get that, because it's not my work. That's another person work under the copyright law. Okay, so I'll show you the information there. Where do you get that? And this person can actually earn a little bit of a living there. Okay, to help him out and to help you out. It's with solar energy. You can actually get a company to do that, but I'm telling you, you risk the chance of them stuffing you up in the future. Okay, but if you do it yourself, you own it. They can't do a thing. Simple as that. As a matter of fact, in places like America, they're already doing something like that. don't know about worldwide, the government actually rewards them for that. I'm not sure exactly what happens there, or if it still happens, but back then they did, maybe in every other country. Okay, yeah, you get some sort of thing, a lot that is from the government for whatever reason. So I don't remember the reason. I think because, well, I don't know, for whatever reason. Okay, so I will show you videos. A lot of people may actually know when you get that video. You can look it up in the internet. I don't actually remember the exact name of the actual information it's on the DVD set. To give it to you right now, I have to look it up. I have to find it. I've got it in many places, so I know where it is. It's in the computer as well. But also where I bought it. Yeah, okay, so you've got to find it. Okay, so I know I know approximately how to find it, and we'll find it if I lost it and get it back. But anyway, so yeah, a lot of people may already know, but those that don't know will be helped here. So as in water, as simple as connecting the old-fashioned way of this is one method. There are many others. You look into bushcraft for that. They'll show you. I don't even have to shoot a field for that. You just, there's many bushcraft you know to get water in Australia, all over the world, even desert places. Even in desert where there's no water, you can get it. Not actually find it, but you can create it. Okay, so that's one method. I'm not sure if there's any others, but it's all in the net. Just look up for the information. Just put in what you want, and it comes up under bushcraft, for example, under free 00 cost. It all comes up. For example, one way that people have already done it in history is with tanks. You can buy them, or you can make it yourself. You can get buckets, for example. In an emergency, you can get, whatever. You can make it yourself. Looking at how to make it, you got to know how to do that. Though you got to learn whatever. But you can use your own roof and create a tank right next to it. A system for pipes to go right in it. If it's cheaper, you can do that. You can actually put big, gigantic barrels underneath the pipe. You can put a filter there, filters it, and of course, the rule here is, remember, the rule in this is that it doesn't only need filtering. You got to filter it properly. You're just going to filter to do that. It can be done easy. Look in the videos how to do that. Okay, if you don't know how, he filters it. It's pretty good water for drinking, but it's not 100%. You got to take it out and boil it now to 3-minute boil, and then it'll become purified as well. Then it'll be good for eating. In anything like that, you have to do it. Otherwise, you risk the chance or whatever. Okay. In an emergency, you might have to drink it, but I don't think you can do that. Purifying water is as simple as just getting an example. If this is a glass, for example, not coffee, no, okay. You put something like this. I'm not sure what material, if what material works. I think it's cotton or wool. Both will do the job, I think. I think cotton does it better, or maybe cotton. Doesn't matter what material. What matters is you just look it up and you find out. I got the information, but I have to look at the video. Just put it up like this. If this is the right material, that is. It could be a little piece of rag. Okay. Pour the water over it. Here. Put a cap like this. It will soak through. This becomes a filter. It could be any material. I don't know. Look it up. Maybe not. Find out. Okay, this works perfectly. I just don't remember which material to use. Okay, or if all can. Okay, so water goes in there. It's now filtered because the shit's gone here. I can then wash that, use it again, or use another one. So you've got this amount of water now. You can do that with a bigger bucket. You can do it with a smaller. Okay, this system is used for, when you want a little bit of water, or maybe a bucket full, something like that. And then you just boil it to 3-minute boil, then it's purified. That's all you have to do. The water is perfectly clean to drink. It's good to put that, they say I will put that shit, but I mean, a lot of people, even the armed forces, do that. I mean, they've got pills, some sort of medicine, I'm sure. So they put that to secure the ground, but you don't actually need that. It's 100% good like that. You need that in suburban areas and in city areas, they say, because for certain reasons they put that in there. Preferred method or whatever, but you actually need it because not everyone's going to boil their water. So they're putting that in there for that reason. So whatever it's called, it's got medicine in the water supply. Okay, worldwide, or at least in these parts of the world. Okay, I'm sure in many parts of the world anyway. So that's how you purify water. If you want more water, like to store it up, there's ways of doing that. Look it up in the internet. There's many ways. If you want more than, say, a bucket like this, not jeans, you get trousers this time. Okay, I'm not sure if you work with jeans. No, you won't. This method won't work with jeans either. Blue jeans, for example, because the color will go. Anything that gets rid of the color and go in there won't work because you're going to poison the water. It's got color in it. It's got to be things it's got color that would turn to paint. This one. Okay. I don't think this will. If it does, you've got to throw it away. Use something else that doesn't do that. And there are ways of doing that, like I showed you. So in the basic principle, it can't be jeans, for example, but it can be trousers. I'm talking about the trousers that the rich, the businessman put, like suits, this type of trousers. Okay. I don't know about anything else, if that will work, maybe, but trousers as in plates, well, I'm talking about trousers, okay. What you do is you hang it up outside, or you can have an indoor system if you want. Create it outside is good. Hang it up like this. First of all, before you hang it, you put one of the foot in there, so you've got double there, layer. Okay, that's what I will do. Hang it up, tie it. Okay. So what you do is 2 ways I know how to do this. You put a bucket underneath and you tie that good so it doesn't drain the water. Okay. And what you do is you fill it up with water, the contaminated water, or the water that's not been, filtered yet. And all you've got to do is have a fire and get the fire going hot as you can, and boil up rocks. Yeah, rocks. You just put it in there. You'll filter the water. Okay, and then you'll just stick a little hole. Before you stick the hole, what I do is I put one of these rags right at the bottom to filter it. You don't have to do that, and to stop it from the water coming out too much. You put it here. One of these, just like that system, you put it at the bottom of the trousers. There's the trousers. It's better like that, believe me. The water will come through that little hole, and drop by drop, or whatever amount he has, you fill up the bucket or what you got underneath, and the water is now filtered. You then, of course, have to boil it for 3 minutes again. Okay. You can also actually it's already been boiled by the rocks, although filtered. I think I will rather boil it over 3 minutes once it's filtered. Yeah, you should. I think so. Don't know if it's compulsory in this method to do it again, but I think I would. Okay, 3 minutes, not gonna hurt. Okay, so that's how you get a lot more water when you're purifying it. In places like Australia, it's very easy. Only if you find, for example, gum trees. They are the trees that koalas are on, and eat the gum leaf. Once you do that to get clean water, for example, if it's an emergency or whatever, and you've got a gum tree lying around, there are not many in this area. I haven't seen any, but there are a lot of places in Australia. And if you happen to find one, you will recognise it easy, especially if it's got koala in there. Usually there have to be many gum trees for koala to be there, because they want. For example, I just remembered, I forgot about this. We actually got a gum tree here at the back. I forgot about that. But there's no koala there because there's only one. Okay, so there has to be a number of them. So what you do is you just get what's it called? A bag that's like this, not this type, but you can. Oh no, you can't do it with it. It has to be see-through like this. Okay, like how are they called? Plastic bags, whatever they're called. You know what I'm talking about. It can be as big as you want, as small as you have. If you have got a big one, that's what you use. I'm not sure if it might be difficult for a small, but you've got to get it reasonably big if you can. If not, use it any size. Just put it on. You've got the koala branch there, for example. Just put it along there, tie it. Make sure it's a branch like this, because if it's like that, the water can spill. Unless you tie it good, you have to. Put it in a way that's not going to have any way of spilling the water. Although you can tie it also. Okay, and tie it. The sun will do the rest. Okay, you sweat the bag, and eventually you create a drinking water there. Okay, it's pretty nice actually. It's got the flavour of gum leaf, I think. I haven't tried it. I haven't tried that method, but I know of it. Because there's no gum trees here, but I know that it works. Because I haven't tried it, I don't know its taste, but it's water. And I think if I remember correctly, according to the study, if I do, it tastes like gum leaf flavour. Pretty nice, they say. Yet, doesn't matter if that's correct or not, because what matters is you're getting water here. And that's what I'm teaching you, how to get water, not how it tastes. Unless we get into the subject of tasting, and that's not in this subject. Anyway, I don't know if I ever do that subject because I'm not interested in it. But anyway, so what's other ways? In the desert places, you can all you need is a glad wrap like this. Works much better in the desert places than any other way. Okay, even though that's, I'm not sure if it works anywhere else. It's going to be very hot for this. Okay, you go glad wrap like this, something like this. Okay, same principle. You dig a hole in the ground, in soil, in the middle of the desert, for example. You put the bag over like that. You put a hole in the bag and little rocks, so you can go kind of like this. The bag, not that much, doesn't have to be that much, but it doesn't matter if it is or isn't. Just as long as the bag doesn't break. Okay, so the water can be directed there. You've got the hole there. You've got a bucket. The sun will bring it down into water. That's enough to give you water. It's best to get a desert plant, for example, put it next to the bucket. It will create even more water much faster. Okay, I'm not sure which way will create more water actually, or if the first way will actually work. I think it will, but with the plant, it definitely works. I get to secure what I'm saying. If you're in the desert, get a plant. Okay, if you haven't got one, try the first one because that's your only option. If you're lost there, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, you should try it because how else are you going to get water here? You're dead. But if it doesn't work, it's not going to work. But if it works, it will work. And the second method with the plant actually does work. And of course, here you put, like, if there won't be rocks there, so you put soil there around the bag so it doesn't sink in. And you wait, and when the bucket is filled, pretty quickly compared to other places, because the sun actually causes sweat on the bag, creating water into the bucket when it drops from the job. Okay, if you haven't got a rock, try something that you got in your pocket, keys, whatever. That would use a little bit to tilt the bag like that. You'll find something on you. If you haven't got anything, you're not in trouble. You just stick a hole there. It'll go there. Okay, a little bit more difficult, but it'll go there. Other water may go elsewhere, but you'll eventually get some sort of drink. Better than having no drink. But anyway, so that's the basic principle. Well, that's how you do it. Actually, not the basic principle. That's how you do it. Actually, find water in the desert. I'm not sure if you work in other hot areas other than the desert. It may. You can try it under experiment. I don't know, but I don't know if it works there. It actually works for the desert places. This method, and it may actually work in hot places. I'm not sure about that. I've forgotten. You can try to see if it does work in hot places. Okay. So as then you can also find water in beach areas. Okay. All this water. I forgot the actual method. How? But I'll look into it. It's in the actual. I'm not sure everywhere, but in certain places maybe. I have to look into the information. I forgot now. Yeah, beach areas, not salty water. I'm talking about fresh water. Not in the beach, not in the water, but I'm talking about in the soil there. Okay. This type of water in the desert and wherever it's going to be very sandy, but there's ways of cleaning it. Look up how to do it. Don't remember how, but drinking, sand water is better than no water. You're going to survive if you have to do that. But it's as simple as kind of like one method is as simple as collect the water from above, not below. If there's any soil, it's going to go down. For example, if you haven't got a bucket, you can do it without the bucket. Okay. So it's going to rise in the desert place. It's going to give you water, and it's going to be not the best clean water because it's got soil in it. But you see the clean water on top. You see it. Just get the top water. If you get a little bit of sand, it's not no big deal. But you don't want that. Okay. So you get the top part of the layer. Wait till the rest of it fills up. Let it go for the next drink. Blah blah blah. So how else can you get water? There's many ways. You can use bottles, but this is not the preferred method. Stay away for it. It won't kill you now, but it can in the future. In an emergency, you only use this. Bushcraft people only use this in an emergency. If you've got no choice, you've got to use this one. because you're going to die any moment if you've got no water. So in an emergency, I'm talking about a phantom emergency, not a little emergency. You may use this method if you haven't got any other. It's a simple bottle. I'm talking about the plastic bottles in the supermarket, Coca-Cola bottles, half bottles, whatever. What you do is you get the water out. You cut it in half. You use both. Okay, so how does this work? The one that's like this, you put here. Now what you do is you put some stuff in there. There's I'm not sure the exact water. You got to look that up. But there's water. There's something like grass. There's three things that you got to put that to filter it. I'm not sure exactly what I forgot, but look it up. It's in the internet. If you look it up and you've got the filter part there, you can actually use a rag. Okay, put it in there. Okay, and fill the water in. It's going to go through the water and it goes into the other container. Okay, and now you've got the water there that's been filtered. You then just go into the fireplace and boil it. The actual plastic won't burn. No. You'll keep the water boiling even. Okay, but you have to put the water all the way to the top, otherwise you'll burn the sides again. Or maybe a lot more. But so you fill it up to the top, and you're just drinking water. That's not the best solution of good water. It will save your life for a very long time. Not sure how long, but a very long time. But you're about to. You keep doing that, it's toxic and it's gonna kill you one day. Not sure if you will from go one, but maybe even from go one. So warning on that one. But like it's not going to take. It's not going to straight away. It takes a while, a long time. So if that's your only option, I will go for it because you don't want to die there and then. Because you're going to drinking water, you're going to die there and then. Okay. So a lot of bush people use that method only in a strict emergency. They don't get that emergency because they know what to do, and that never comes about. But it's just there if it ever happens. So you've got to study bushcraft. You can use that in the city area. In a crisis in any part, doesn't have to be the bush, base it on its principle and you will survive. Okay, so for example, you've got water, you're living in this area, taps are out, they've cut your water supply, whatever, just take a walk to the nearest park that's got taps, fill up your buckets, come home and you've got water. It's for the public. They can't stop you. Okay, around these areas, I'm not sure about overseas, but the taps everywhere. Okay, so that's the best way of getting water around here when you haven't got it. Although you may have to walk short, medium, or long distance, or drive. Okay, well, if you've got water, if you need water, that's your only option, or the preferred option, then you do that one. Okay, so your buckets and your tanks can now be filled that way, free. It's going to stop you. But anyway, okay, so anyway, so you've got water now. In places like country areas, cities where there's water supply, give it to the public free. You don't actually have to go and do that. You can just, if you live nearby, you don't have to do that. You just walk there for a drink, save you the work. It might be a 1 minute walk, you get some exercises. Get a drink. If you need the water for cooking, then you might have a bucket to get that, whatever. But for drinking, you don't have to do that. You can just go and just have a drink, get some exercise as well if you want to do that. Especially if it's like a 2-minute walk or the distance that you're willing to walk or can walk, like half an hour, for example, you can do that. Get some exercise, go there 2 times, 3 times a day. You don't get very fit, although you may not want to do that. Just use a bucket, okay? Drive there or whatever. Okay, thank you for listening. Let me just think if there's any other ways to get water here. There is, I think, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me think. My memory's not so good these days, but anyway. Let me think. Anyway, we'll get back to this if there's any other information on this to help you. Okay, rainwater. All you need is, for example, something that this time that the water can't go through. It'll stay there.
Jimmy?
Yeah.
Want to make up a coffee?
One moment, Con. I'm talking about. You need something like fabric, something like, what's it called? GI Ponko, I think it's called, something like that. The armed forces use it, or it's made from the army disposal. I don't know if the armed forces use it, but it's from the army disposal. Okay, so what you do is you get that. That can be used for many things, actually. I won't might not get into what, but it can also be used for water. What it is kind of like a raincoat that you put over to protect you from the rain. That's what it is. It's waterproof. Since it's waterproof, you can actually use it. It's actually got a hole because it's got this thing here. Okay, it goes over. So what you do is you put that like this, with tied on 4 posts. Create a thing on it if you can. Put a bucket. Rain comes, water comes directly to the bucket. Change the bucket as often as you want. As many buckets as you have. That can be filled pretty quickly or slow, depending upon how much water, how much rain comes. Okay, it can be filled if it's in a big rain. It can be filled pretty quickly. You just have to go out in the wet for a little while. Don't worry, you're having a shower here. Anyway, anyway, so you go there and you just collect as many water as you need or whatever. Okay, as many buckets you got, whatever. You can also store that in your tanks in the winter around these areas. It works like that, maybe worldwide. You've got drinking water here for that period of time. And also, if you store enough water, depends on how many buckets you got here, or any way of getting that water into the big tank or medium or whatever. Now you've got water for summer from the rain. Okay. You can also have that is if your tank can't supply that much water. For example, if it's got less water, and you can double it. For example, if you've got a tank, you have a system, rift, whatever, the rain will actually go into the tank and fill up your tank. Or that, if you're not getting much water because it's not raining much, you can double it, or even triple it if you've got 2 of those or whatever, and get water there, just transfer it to the tank until it's full. That's no problem about that.
I want some coffee, man. I want some coffee. I want some coffee.
I will in 1 minute, Con. So the point here is you don't have to use that method. You've got a tank, and it's running good, and you're getting plenty of water for the summer and all that. You don't have to use that. But I'm talking about in places where it's got less water. And for example, not if you don't need more water, and it's enough, but if you need more water, like double or something, it's filling up, for example, half of your tank. You need double water now to get you through the summer, and it's not raining enough. But you can use this method. You can actually have 2 tanks, but you may not have the money. But I mean, yeah. But the same as 2 tanks or 3 if you need that, whatever. You can have this going. It's manually done, unless you've got some automatic way of doing it. So you need to do work and collect the water, put in the tank. With this bucket method, simple, cheap as. Of course, if you've got money, get another tank for crying out loud. But if you haven't, that's your only option here. There are other options, but this is one option. Collect water, fill it up. You fill it up to the top if you want. If it rains, no problem. Okay? Because you want it, because you don't know how much it's going to rain here in places like that. So you want to fill it up as much as you can when it rains. And the rain will fill the rest of it up as well. Work together. Now, if it rains more after that, don't go sad about it, because you don't know that in places where it doesn't rain much, but it rains somewhat. And then you've doubled your water. Okay? So you can triple it if you've got people working with you and have 2 of these. If you need triple the amount, or even 4, whatever you want, it's going to cost next to nothing other than the actual tank. Or you can have big barrels. You make it cheaper, whatever you use. This system doubles the water or triples it, whatever. Related to for example, you can only get your hands on 1 barrel. Then you only fills half of the way, or tank, whatever. So you can do that sort of thing. Okay, you can actually do that if you've got no barrel as well, and collect it in buckets. If you've got no tank, you may need a lot of buckets to get you through, but it's going to give you some water anyway. Until next time, okay? Yeah. You can actually just put the buckets out if you haven't got the pot thing. You can actually do it with any material that's waterproof. It doesn't, that is, it doesn't give you a stain like paint. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that. So you can just have it like that. Stick a hole, put a bucket there. Same basic principle. It can be any color, whatever, as long as it doesn't create paint or anything like that. If the water comes out pure there, it's good. If it doesn't, you gotta use something else. Okay, so that is all to it. In this lesson, you can actually make tanks like that free, if you know how, or buy them if you don't. Look into how to make them, and you can just have your own water supply here, free of charge. They'll stuff the water company because they're going to stuff you up soon. They're already doing that. They've come hard on Australia. Every bill is just about too expensive. As I said, they will get overseas. They'll stuff everyone up if you don't do what I'm telling you, or something that will help you. You can do something else if that helps, great. But this is what you do if you need to use what I'm telling you. Okay. Thank you for listening. So to summarize what we've been studying here, it's as simple as understanding this basic rule of balance in nature. Okay. For example, that is with animals. Doesn't matter how many. The more the better, though, of different varieties of species. So you've got animal, you've got bird, fish, veggies, seed, fruit. You can use lizards, for example, if you want. Of course, there's insects in your compost as well if you're going to use that method. Okay? So it balances itself out. You can use that in and outside of your property. That's what you need to know. If you know about this type of stuff, you can just do it any way that you like or know how to do it. There's many options here. You can see these options, some of these options written in the video above. Okay, so, well, yeah. Okay. So, take care and God be with you all. That is all.